Say yes to new beginnings.
Yes.
Say yes to new standards of excellence.
Yes.
Say yes to engaging reportage with a difference.
Yes.
Introducing Yes International Magazine. The time to say yes to your dreams and aspirations is here.
You admitted that being a filmmaker has done a lot for you. And I'm not saying, what has it not done for you? What would you have wanted it to do for you that it hasn't done?
I don't know. I'm still very young. Like you say, I'm 49 years old. I'll still probably end up being a lawyer or a pastor. If I wasn't a filmmaker, I probably would have been a lawyer, a very rascally lawyer for that matter, or be on the pulpit preaching the word of God in a very different style. Well, I'm actually getting into that fully any moment from now by way of doing very strong moralistic movies with very serious gospel undertone. I feel our society needs that now. We almost contribute to the remaking of our nation, and I think they're using the instrumentality of motion picture. There's a lot that I can do.
As a filmmaker, and a reputable one at that, what are the elements of a good film?
First, I try to also be an audience. I try to first be the audience of my film. Watch. I think we all should strive as filmmakers to present a realistic film. So when you are picking a story, you must be very, very careful to pick a story that you can interpret. A story you can interpret, a story that you can present, and well interpreted, and it will be believable to the audience. If you don't present a believable, realistic story, my brother, forget it. People, and be conscious of your first 15 minutes in the film. If you are not able to capture your audience within the first 15 minutes, I'm sure you won't find people to sit down and watch the film to the end. So these are some of the things you look at. So for me, I want to tell stories that will appear believable, and to the glory of God, that was what people followed. I've heard people say, "Oh, I love your film. I love the stories. I love the stories." The story is number one. Forget all those razzmatazz, camera work and whatever. Yes, people, is only those of us within the industry that understand some of these technological or technical jargons or dynamics. What the ordinary person want to enjoy is that they can follow a story, because whenever they want to see all those razzmatazz, they go and watch foreign movies. But when they come to what I think people see the Nigerian film as a way of connecting with reality. With reality. When they are watching the Nigerian film, they don't want to be bothered about one helicopter flying, this one going. They may just applauding when it happens, but how does the story connect? That is the key thing. And how believable are the people that you are using to tell your story, convey your story? How believable are they in the interpretation of whatever role that you are giving to them? And how do we all connect together to make a great story? Yeah.
Wow, I love that. I love that. Now, as a filmmaker, What do you normally consider before accepting a script? Before you agree to direct?
Again, there are some superficial stories. People will say, "Oh, Mr. Lancelot, I have a great story." You look at it, you just you see, people just sit within the confines of their rooms and all that and concoct some unimaginable things. I just want to throw it at you. For me, when you give me a script, I want to look at the body of the story. How is it connecting? How are they? All the rigmaroles and all of that. How at the end do they connect? So what I see in my script, and I want to look at, okay, the script may not be perfect, but does it give me room for deeper work? Because most times, I can assure you that what you produce may be quite different from the script as written. But the ginger is first dropped from the script. You see some so wow, even artists. I'm producing a work right now. 2 persons told me when I read the first 5 pages, like I want to quote a guy, said, when my production designer, Leo Okwese, he said, when I read the first 5 pages, I dropped the script. I said, Jay, what is this? Before I went back to it. My assistant director, Emmanuel Yaba, said, hey, so everybody, even the artists, I say, whoa, this is beautiful. So the script must be able to capture attention. And how do I read my script? When I pick up a script and I read some pages and I drop it, no, it doesn't work. But when I am reading a script, I'm in a hurry to get to the end. I say, yes, I have a script here.
All right, I love that. You have done a number of movies. Of all these films and movies that you have done, which one is the most memorable and why?
Yesterday. And yesterday. Yesterday. That was the film that shot me to limelight. That was the film that brought the celebration we have today. And for the first time, I experimented on a pattern that was not very, very known to filmmaking, storytelling. And I was shocked that it
somebody is speaking the Sakaba.
Yeah. for me to have taken such risk as an unknown filmmaker, then I really give kudos to the pressure, the mental pressure we had then to say, okay, there was great competition. I wanted to do stuff. So I came up with that story yesterday, a devastating tale, talking about female genital mutilation, talking about rape, talking about so I'm surprised now we're talking rape. I made a film on rape. People are talking about NSAS, about police brutality and whatever. I made a film 2004 on this issue, and I provide solution how a policeman should treat people with civility on the street. 2004 with a film titled African Heroes. So when all this started, and that is supposed to be my job, our job as filmmakers, projecting into the future, remodeling the society how it should be. But are we taking that seriously? No. That's the way it is. So for me, once the script can ginger me from the first pages and I'm in a hurry to read it through, I say this is the kind of work I want to get engaged in.
All right. Of all the jobs you have done, which one would you consider your worst directing job?
As you say, you come. I will be sounding immodest if I say, yeah. Honestly, it may be difficult to point a particular work, but sometimes I feel when I look through some jobs that I could have done it better. I could have done it this way. Then also, when you get through some job, I begin to decry the despicable conditions with which we make movies in this environment. Honestly, You say, oh, there was a movie we're shooting. We're supposed to use policemen. We can't get guns. You go and get some wood, carve it properly, and put it there. In your mind, you know that no, this thing would have been better if you had the facilities that you needed. So I can't call a particular film, but there are some works I have looked through. I said, okay, if the conditions were better, I would have done a better job. Maybe you, as a director.
Would you like to mention one?
It's going to be difficult. It's going to be difficult. there was a film we made. I think it was Time Out. Time Out.
Time Out.
Yes, the title was Time Out. This situation where we use wooden guns. I could see that even on screen. I, as a filmmaker, realized that, oh, I think this thing is obvious that it's a wooden gun. Yeah.
All right. All right. Now, yes, considering the fact that you get to interact with actors nearly every day, where would you say that most of them normally get it wrong?
Azu, I don't want to be misquoted. I think the hallmark, the hallmark of this profession is about practice, practice, and more practice.
Yeah.
Artists in Nigeria probably remember their artists when they have script.
Mm.
So most of them ask them, what manner of preparations do you undergo as an artist? Must it be when artists come to get lines on sets? You send artist script as you shout this one, they don't read. If you go through their script to understand, maybe because some of them are too busy. That is why they find it difficult to appear differently in the film. Not appearing differently is not just in costume. You can say, okay, in this work, this is the way I'm going to talk. Guy, being an actor requires work. A lot of it. Speech training, physical exercises. I catch some young people for this movie from since last week. I told them all to go to gym. Go to gym every day. We're not joking here. So, honestly, the amount of preparation, I know there's no money. Everybody needs money. But if we really love this job, we should give more time to it. If not for our own benefit, but for the benefit of generations yet unborn. Wow. I will tell you, and I feel very gratified, humbled, when recently the Census Board of Nigeria named 60 individuals they called icons that shaped the Nigerian film industry in the past 60 years, and yours sincerely was named. That got me, oh, these things we're not doing there. Oh, were there people taking note? And also take me to a chieftaincy title I got from Enugu when I got the letter from Igwe Emmanuel Ugu of Ibagwanike. He wrote me and said, when you are doing what you are doing, you do not think there are people watching. You don't know people are taking note. But it's at times like this that you know that there are people that will be taking note of what you are doing. So I want to enjoy our artists. You never can tell who will be watching that film. You just went to, hey, what's the line? No, artists gone beyond saying the lines. There are attitudes, there are characteristics, there are demands that we put into the work of art. Yeah.
Wow, I love that. Now, of all the actors that you have worked with, who has impressed you the most? Yes, all of them that you have worked with, who has impressed you the most?
I decline.
Why? Why are you declining?
Because I've answered this question, and today I still have some enmity that has not been able to cancel. So I decline. All the Nigerian actors are good. Let me be very honest. Let me be very honest with you. Let me be very, very honest with you. There is this boy called Zubi Michael. I've never worked with him. But every time I stumble onto his work, say the boy, to me, does not even understand the enormity of artistic prowess that he carries. So I've always looked forward to directing him. So when in this my work, I contacted him. I was surprised that he was equally as excited coming to be on my set. There are a couple of them like that. This one, I'm mentioning this person I've not worked with. But I've watched that young boy perform. Yeah, though they keep giving him same thing, but the guy is an organic actor. I will also not fail to mention, yeah, we hardly work together. I think we have worked together only once. This lady called Mercy Johnson. I'm sure Mercy does not also understand the enormity of artistic deposit inside of her. Because I see the way she effortlessly meander from one role to another. And you cannot find a trace of the other character she played in this one. You play as a housemaid, she's beautiful at that. You play as a prostitute on the road, she's beautiful at that. You play as an executive in an office. So I think I mentioned this one because we have Mercy. I think we have only worked together once.
Somebody said Sam Baby now. Somebody chose Sam Baby.
Let me shock you. Sam Baby was my teacher when I was in the university. Port Harcourt. He was my teacher. Wow. And we did a couple of works. When I became a director, it was always a delight. There are some individuals that are mentioning one is a problem. There are some individuals as artists that are directors' delight. Okay. They are directors' delight. So I can mention Sam Dede features prominently in that. Richard Moffett Damijo features prominently in that. And several others. Yeah.
Others. All right. Now, who is the most difficult actor that you have worked with?
No response. That one, I will not say a word. See, artists, they have, especially when they have hit limelight. Even the ones that have not hit limelight, they all have their nuances. They have their ups and downs. And for us as directors, we just try to manage them as much. And then you can also, if you don't understand, that's when you quarrel. I don't quarrel. I know there is expected. You tell them you are coming on set today. They will take 2 days. You appeal to them. I will share something. I'll share and explain to you. My costumier was calling to say, please send us your measurements, your details for your costume. A lot of them were responding. An actor said, no, I am in the East. Send somebody to come and take my measurement. I said, the costumier called me frustrated. This man said, I said, no problem. I called somebody in that city. I said, what are you doing? I said, please, you are going to go and meet an actor for me. Look for a tailor. And it was like that. So what do you call that?
All right. Now, I know you're a director, but I know you also watch the works of other directors. Who is your favorite Nigerian director?
Wow. Hi, Azuna, wow. Izu Ojukwu.
Izu Ojukwu, okay. Okay. All right. Okay.
And Tichidi.
Okay, Chidi Chikere. Okay.
Yeah.
All right.
Of course, there's this young Nigerian filmmaker I respect a lot. I love him. I love his works. Kenneth Gian.
Kenneth Gian.
Gian, yeah. I love him. But from time, I always admired what Izu does with the camera. Even that time that we were doing pa. I'm the king of storytelling. I want to tell stories. But I see what the guy did, and I was looking forward to meeting him. So there was a day in Lagos at Winnie's, you know, our popular fame Winnie's. And somebody said that is Izu. You'll be surprised. I ran. Went to hug him. He was surprised. I said, I love your works. And I do that always. It does not remove anything from me. Yeah. I hugged him. I shook his hand. I said, I love your works. So after exchanging that with him, he now asked me, please, can I meet you? He didn't know me either. I said, my name is Lancelot Oduwa. I was like, he ran. He ran. He ran. I love your work too. I said, man, I love what you do with the camera. I love the way you tell your stories. So that is that. We should appreciate each other. I hope we are rounding up now.
Yeah, we're rounding up. Now, what is your candid assessment of Nollywood?
Honestly, there has been growth. I've always predicted this. By 2000, I've said by the year 2005, we are going to progress. By the year 2010, we'll progress. Honestly, there has been growth. Yes, there are hurdles, a lot of limitations, but I can assure you, yes, and that area of limitation has to do with marketing and distribution. We do not have enough access to releasing of our works. Filmmakers are frustrated. But in terms of growth, just this morning, my gaffer came and we're looking through the lights, putting things together for our shoot that's commencing in 2 days' time. So the lightman was shocked looking at me. So how did you acquire all of this? I don't rent just for yourself? I said, yes, sir. Azu, Nollywood, I think Nigeria has not been fair to this industry. The banking sector, they've not been fair to this industry. The corporate Nigeria has not been fair to this industry. And I want to say that the mainstream media, they've not been fair to Nollywood. By way of, I'm surprised. Sometimes I see a filmmaker on CNN main news that just made a film and he's talking about his film. I think the needed attention has not been given to this industry well enough by government. Right now, some of the biggest, most celebrated Africans are from Nollywood and the entertainment industry. Yeah, the musical guys just started coming of late, but they must give kudos and credit that it was Nollywood that opened up the entertainment space to what every other, the comedians, the musical guys are enjoying today. So no Nigerian president should travel to anywhere in the world without carrying an ambassador from Nollywood. I'm going to say it. No governor should go anywhere without going with these persons. Nollywood actors, actresses, filmmakers remain the most noticeable individuals from any part. So what kind of celebration? It's not just anytime they want to do political rallies, they call artists to come and grace the stage for them and give them some. No. At this stage, I shouldn't be filming anywhere and my state government is not aware It shouldn't be. It's an aberration. Now, when they give, what are we fighting now? We're fighting a crime. We're fighting this. We're fighting that. Everything that gives a thumbs down to a nation. We have not been able to celebrate in concrete terms those that have been able to break even on their own, to serve as a stimulant for the younger ones coming. We don't celebrate and groom role models in our society. And this is part of the problem that Nollywood has suffered. So mainstream, all the major medias, NTA News, should carry major information as it concerns a production going on. You are no longer doing the filmmaker a favor. You are doing the society at large a huge favor. And the financial institutions must begin to find a way to come into this business. Listen, we are not saying assist. Come into this business big time and get it larger. A lot of African countries, the Francophone countries, they still put one television and somebody is interpreting as we speak to play a DVD explaining Nigerian film. We got testimony. I've traveled far and wide, far to Jamaica, to a lot of places. I know the kind of regard that the Nigerian film industry garner everywhere. But we have not been able as a people to place it well for the betterment of the generality of us. By now, it should be a major export for Nigeria, a major foreign export exchange earner for the country.
Wow. I'll take 3 more questions and we'll round up.
Hey.
Which is your favorite Nigerian film and why?
Azu. Yesterday.
All right.
And the reason is simple. I have always seen film as a tool for social re-engineering, for social restructuring. And that film, today, Nigeria just opened, yesterday I saw in the news, a center, a one-stop place where incidences of rape and gender-based violence is reported. I laughed. We talked about that 1997 in a film. You know, yesterday was able to handle 3 major fundamentals that affect our Nigerian women and African women. The issue of circumcision, the issue of rape, the issue of widowhood rights. All these were treated in this movie using one character and from a one-person point of view narration.
Wow, I love that. So we have 2 more questions to go. What distinguishes Ambassador Lancelot Oduwa Imasuen as a filmmaker? What separates you from all the other filmmakers?
I'm just myself. Everybody knows that one. I am just myself. I say it the way, guy, I'm not, I don't need all this diplomacy. I just say it the way it is. Anytime I find space, I speak my mind. Hate me, like me, but people will say, Lancelot will always speak the truth. That's just it. I think that stands me out. It has brought enemies, it has brought friends.
All right. On a final note, we've been talking about this new work that you're going to start in the next 2 days. You call it Bege.
Right.
So let me give you an avenue. Tell people about Bege. What should people expect from Bege and stuff? So let us round off on that note.
Thank you very much. My next work in marking my 25 years as a filmmaker in Nollywood is titled Bege. You know what it means. Again, I want to be able to fuse culture with modernity. And this is a huge cultural conflict the issue of the firstborn male and the father's burial right. Since this story started flying, I discovered that the way it is in the East is the way it is in Yoruba land. The same way it is in my place where I come from, where the Igbo man will say, who get money, make it bury papa, not be first kid. So also in my place, the first son is not whether he has money or doesn't have money. He wants to partake. He wants to be the person to bury. He doesn't call himself a man if he's not able to bury his father. And this opens up a lot of huge conflict. What are the limitations to him achieving this dream? I will not leave it at that. And I'm putting together some beautiful stars. Sam Dede is playing. Zubi Michael is playing. Iniedo is playing. Jide Kosoko is playing. Mercy Agbe is playing. Yakubu Muhammad is playing. Junior Pope is playing. Brother Chagi is playing, and deliberately, since 25 years, there's no way we would have just done it small. It's going to be a very huge project, and we want to continue to maintain our hold, our position, that Lancelot Imasuen, the governor, remains the governor of Nollywood, and our position is not negotiable. We will not the rain finish. So I tell everybody that right now Bege is on my mind. 25 years counting. I want to pride myself to the glory of God as one of Nollywood's most consistent filmmaker. And right now giving back to society, training young filmmakers in the area of acting. So we set up the Benin Film Academy in collaboration with Nigerian University. Thank you so much.
Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. All those who participated, thank you.